I will speak on this Bhumiputra law because I feel that this is a legislation which will hurt the very fundamental issues which affect Goa and Goans at large. Honest people who are here in Goa are also trapped to be punished by this law. I will first explain to you very briefly what is this and why it is dangerous. Because in this definition, Bhumiputra is not what you and I understand it. Bhumiputra is defined, so you have to look only at this definition, means a person who is residing in the state of Goa at least for a period of 30 years before the date of making the application under section 5. The date of the application is there. So first part, and there's a semicolon there, please look at this carefully, there's a semicolon. So this is second part now. And in occupation of a dwelling unit and includes his or her spouse, son, daughter-in-law and unmarried daughter. So if it is in two parts, the first part is 30 years in Goa. You can reside anywhere in Goa, legally, illegally, tenant, or even in a, as I mentioned, in a jhopdi or in a tent. You can be 30 years residing in Goa. You don't have to reside in that house for 30 years. And second part of it is in occupation of a dwelling unit on the appointed date. So that means you will be in occupation on 1st of April 2019. Now this occupation doesn't mean for residence. As what capacity? Which means even a tenant of your house will now be given Bhumipatra status. Think of this. Giving Bhumipatra status to people, we have no problem of rehabilitation of people, we have no problem of giving housing to people, but you can't deprive owners of their right by stroke of the pen in this manner. Not only an encroacher gets protection, but even your tenant, so which means you lose your land totally. This law is unheard of anywhere in the world. Now, why are we calling it that this is a jumla which is being done by the BJP government? Look back in period of time. We have got Article 372A of the Code of Comunidades, which was amended by the BJP government then, which allowed regularization of illegal structures on Comunidad land. Has that not sufficed? What happened? In applications we invited and nothing was done. Nobody has been given land. After that, 2016, they brought the Regularization Act for regularization of illegal constructions on land. And according to what we have studied yesterday, more than 8,000 applications were received, charging a fee of 10,000 rupees per person, which means they collected over 8 crores for this. And today's one of the newspapers is showing the statistics of how many have been regularized. That means you have looted the common man in the hope that they will get something. Today the Bhumiputra law again will require you pay probably this 10,000. All people will be hopeful and finally this law will be quashed or struck down. This is nothing but a political gimmick. Please look back again at these two legislations which I mentioned, Code of Comunidades and 2016 legislations. They were brought on the eve of the forthcoming election. 2016 legislation was brought 3 months before that next election. Other one was 2001 if I'm not mistaken, that was brought. So please look at the timings of the legislation. This legislation of Bhumiputra Act says that you can apply within 6 months. Count 6 months from the date it receives, if it receives assent from the governor and becomes a law. 6 months means we already move into election mode. Code of conduct will come into force. Then they will play the game by saying, oh, the opposition is against you, or they are trying to defeat you, they are trying to displace you. This is the type of thing. You and I will be out on the road and somebody else will be therein. But for the time being, they will get your votes, they will fool the people, and then finally either it can be scrapped by them only, or probably the courts will strike it down. I can give you a guarantee that the courts will not for a moment tolerate such kind of legislation which robs Peter and gives to Paul. You understand? So even I remember when the Agricultural Tenancy Act was challenged by the landlords way back when we had a Judicial Commissioner's Court, and the Judicial Commissioner's Court struck down that Fifth Amendment Act. The matter went up before the Supreme Court. And in the Supreme Court, this was the argument, you are merely taking away the land from the landlord and giving it to the tenant. And the Supreme Court asked, what are you doing to protect this? And the government made a statement on affidavit before the Supreme Court saying that we will bring a legislation to prohibit conversion of tenanted agricultural land to be used for non-agricultural purpose. After filing affidavit, of course, the appeal of the state government was allowed, and the government of Goa in 1991 brought that Prohibition of Conversion of Tenanted Lands Act. So you please look at it. There is been a rule of law which is prevalent. There is a systematic attempt to defeat the rule of law. If you believe that anything good will come out of this legislation, I think people should wake up and realize they are only being fooled. And I think nothing will come out of it, and they should be alert, safeguard their rights. I'm not saying only those people who are going to be claiming the benefit, because even they are going to be cheated, and this is nothing short of what we are saying all along, that this is a total fraud upon the Constitution, fraud upon the people, and an attempt to finish off Goa.